How to RPG. So before you see Dark Heresy, we're going to make some characters for that someday. Not yet, but certainly it's going to happen. And much to my surprise, Pathfinder 2nd Ed Edition actually finally showed up yesterday. This is the pocket version, and we will be making characters for Pathfinder in the future when I have a chance to figure out how to get through the 600 or so pages that need to be read. Yeah, but it will happen. You're going to need a few things for today because we're going to be doing some character construction or character building for old school essentials. I'm going to cover the thief today. You will need dice. You need to grab some dice. You need 3 6-sided dice rather than 4 today. So 6-sided dice, you need at least 3 of them. You'll need a pen, paper, all the information for Old School Essentials. The free downloadable PDF is down in the description, and a fillable character sheet. So if you needed a character sheet, it's there. How's it going, Noroak? How are you doing? Noroak is our patron and supports me to make sure I can do this each week. So I'm going to put up a poll, ask you that question, see what you have to say. I'm going to do a presentation first. That will give people time to jump into the chat before we do character creation. I would imagine that my first presentation is going to take maybe 10-15 minutes, and then we'll move straight in to actually doing that. So get all the stuff you need together now, okay, so that you're ready to go, because we're going to build a character together very shortly. All right, let's let's get things moving, shall we? I believe that's there. Yes. Yes. Okay. Hi, welcome to How to RPG. My name is Fred Weller, and today I want to talk about role-playing games. This is all about character creation. This is where we do our character creation, and so what I thought I would do is I'd go over our basic presentation first, and once I've done the basic presentation with you, we'll actually go straight into building together a thief. Now, the thief is kind of like the rogue, and this will be for Old School Essentials, which is a version of Dungeons & Dragons, probably a very good depiction of what basic Dungeons & Dragons looks like if you were to modernize it and make it a bit easier to actually navigate. That's really what they've done here. So it's going to be very interesting. I have never made a character for Old School Essentials. It'll be my first time. Okay, people? Let's go through the basics, though, while you're getting all your bits and pieces together. Character creation pre-check. One of the things whenever you're doing a character is you want to do the pre-check. So check with your game master what player character options are available for the game being run. Like what house rules your game master is going to be using for character creation or for playing the game, because it will affect how you build your character. Build your character for that campaign on the information provided, rather than coming with a solo specific background for your character that has nothing to do with what the game master is putting together. Have a discussion with him. If they don't provide you with any information, ask some relevant questions. You want a little bit of detail or information on the adventure. You don't want spoilers on the campaign or adventure, but you want enough so you can figure out how to make your character fit that adventure. It's a much better way to do it. Now, character creation always starts as a group discussion because it's a group game. So because of that, your character's part of a team, it's part of a group machine, it's like playing team sports. And so when you're playing team sports, you need to plan together, train together, and then play together. That's the most effective way to be a good team. So design your character around the aspects of play too. When you're putting your character together, there's probably about 3 basic aspects to play, and that is exploration, discovery, investigation, figuring out mysteries, things like that. So exploration. Communication. So that's talking or communicating with the monsters, the NPCs, the characters, or whatever in the adventure that are usually run by the game master. And then combat. You don't want a one-trick pony where you can only participate in 1/3 of the game by just making something built for combat and nothing else. Try to make something that you can do everything with. Ask what ability or attribute score method is going to be used and write it down. Okay, write down what it's going to be. When is it going to be used? What is it? So will it be a point-buy system? Will it be a standard array? Will you be rolling dice? If you're rolling dice, always do that in front of the group, but particularly do it in front of the game master so you cannot be accused of cheating. Okay? It's a little bit different when you're doing it with friends, but when you're strangers, really you need to be completely open with the dice rolling process. Determine what hit points or health points method is going to be used. Are you using maximum hit points where you don't roll the dice at all? Are you using the average? Okay, or are you rolling for your hit points or health points? And if you're rolling, again, make sure you do that in front of the group, do it in front of the game master specifically, so you cannot be accused of cheating. So that's the things you need to consider beforehand. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't do some research on your character beforehand, but the final draft is done together. Yeah? It's a much better way to operate. Otherwise, you're guaranteed to not have a good time or screw it up for other people. All right. Character sheet format. There's about 4 different formats for a character sheet nowadays. That's your standard paper character sheet. We use pen or pencil, fill in the details. I suggest using a pencil and an eraser or a rubber. When I say rubber, I do not mean a condom. I mean the rubber is the thing on the end of the pencil. I'm in New Zealand, not in North America. Okay, I had somebody mentioning that in the comments just recently. So the thing is, when you write on your paper character sheet in pen, often you need to adjust things and change things, so it's better to use a pencil. Fillable PDFs are very popular. The character sheet that's a fillable PDF, there's so many of them out there. Almost every game system has one, and if they don't have one, somebody creates one, okay? You can have computer software or a website character builder. There aren't a lot of website or character builders out there that allow you to do that sort of thing, but there are some available. You can also look at smartphone applications for character building. I would say to you that more and more people are making apps for phones because smartphones are so smart for building characters, because it's nice and portable. You don't have to carry a laptop or a computer around with you. You don't have a piece of paper with you. No matter any time you use any kind of electronic device, it's always a good idea to have at least the backup in paper form as well, just in case. Okay? Sometimes the battery runs out of power. Sometimes technology fails you. Okay. The character creation basics. This is what you're normally looking for with most role-playing games, but it will be slightly different depending on what you're playing. Select the level of your character that you're starting at and write it down on the character sheet. Your game master will explain what character level you're going to start at, because not every single game starts at level 1. You might be starting at level 0. We have no heroic character level whatsoever. You're just a commoner. For all you know, you might be starting at level 3, you might be starting at level 5. So ask what level you're starting at and make sure you build the character to that level. Select the class or the career path or your heroic class or your character type for your character and write down the relevant information for that particular class or type of character on the character sheet if you can. If you can fit it, good idea. Select your species, race or playable monster type for your character and write down the relevant details on your character sheet. Select the background or aspects for your character. If you're playing something like Fate, you might have aspects. If you're playing D&D 5e, you might have background. Whatever it is, write down the information on your character sheet. Okay, now let's talk and go into backstory just a little bit, because a lot of people like to write a backstory for their character. When you include a backstory, I would suggest make a short backstory in narrative form. Usually it will answer 4 or 5 questions that your game master has for you, okay? They'll want to know a few different things. I'm not going to go over the different questions because that would just be another video. But there is plenty of videos out there that talk about what sort of information you need to provide in a backstory. Okay, there's another approach to this, and this is more an old school approach, and I still think it has a lot of worth, and that is the players don't create a backstory at character creation. Instead, as they play the game, that is what creates the backstory for your character. So you're playing through your backstory rather than having it sitting out there in the ether in your mind, and your character never actually took part in those things. They're just things that were there. Now, that gives you maximum flexibility and control over what you do with your character. There's another way of doing this, and that is if you consider levels 1 to 3 or level 1 to 4 as the period of time where your character is developing their backstory, you're writing it and you're playing it. That's essentially what you're doing. You're answering all those questions by playing the game. So you won't know what your backstory is until you've played the game for a couple of levels. That's often a better way to go about it. Okay, you actually experience the process. Okay, select your character customization options. If there are, a lot of modern role-playing games do have them, even older ones do. If it's feats, talents, traits, skills, or features, go through them, find out what you're allowed to use from your game master, and then build your character around those if you want to use them. Sometimes they're optional. Determine the character's ability or attribute score with a method that was approved initially. Before you even started building the character, do all of your ability score and attribute scores, because usually that is the key or main mechanic around your character ultimately. If you're dealing with a skill system, you'll be dealing with skill scores instead. Okay, what about the advanced details on your character sheet? Well, select the powers or stunts. If you're playing a superhero RPG like Mutants and Masterminds, you'll have stunts and powers, so select those, okay? If you've got a fantasy world and you can cast spells, then select your spells, write them down on the character sheet. Okay, we've got equipment. Now you can often select or buy equipment, and I would suggest you do so, okay? Often it's a good idea to buy whatever is required after selecting a pre-package. Select the pre-package, whatever money you have left, go and buy some more equipment. Okay, write that all down on your character sheet. Calculate the bonuses, the modifiers for your character, do all the math stuff. Okay, selecting or drawing a character portrait is not vital, but I would say it's good for connecting the concept in your imagination for your character with a physical medium, whether that's on paper or a digital file. It doesn't matter, it's up to you. Okay, I always give miscellaneous recommendations around building a character, and these are the ones that I have for you. All character options are customizable. Okay, they're all customizable. That means you can make your own, you can adjust them. All you need is game master approval. That doesn't mean you go and harass them, because that's not what adults do. What adults do is they have a normal, mature discussion with the game master to see what the game master is comfortable with doing. Okay, because often when you're dealing with customization, it changes the nature of the beast. And if you're new to being a game master, you may not be open to that. If you're more experienced, the chances are they're going to be more open to that, or maybe less open to that, depending on their experience. So there's always a good reason when game masters say no to customization. But look at it as anything is potentially customizable. You need to just have an adult conversation. Character options don't need to be optimized. You do not have to optimize for a role-playing game. It is perfectly fine to make a suboptimal character. You do not need to build your character specifically to only focus in on combat. I know that there's a lot of focus on the internet, particularly in YouTube, about power builds and so forth. There is a lot of fun to be had by playing a character that isn't perfect. Anyway, select your adventuring gear. Look, I can't say this enough. Any player can do this. Any player running a character can have adventuring gear. So go and buy it when you can. It's good for preparing for your adventure. It will help you solve problems. I have a whole series of videos explaining how to use mundane equipment to actually help you solve problems in your games. So go buy that stuff, or at least find it. Okay, last piece of advice for you. And that is, note down the page number in the role-playing game book that you're using for all of your power descriptions. Okay, so you can reference them quickly. Power descriptions, spell descriptions. Sometimes spells are quite complicated, so it's good to have a sort of a reference point. Race and species abilities, get the page number. The character type or class type, get the page number for the information, and the background features, and anything else that might be related. Even the feats, if you've got feats and traits and talents, write down the page number so you can quickly reference them. One that makes it better for you, because if you are not able to write all the information on the character sheet, you can reference it by putting the page number and then turn to that page when you need to check how it works if you're not too sure. But also too, because of game masters and dungeon masters having to know so much information, they may not be aware of everything that you're using. They may not be familiar, they may be new, you never know. And they may require a bit more help in determining how it's supposed to work, because there's so often a lot of interpretation around how something works in a game. So by providing them with a page number, they can reference that very quickly without having to flip through and try and find where it is. You're making their life easier, making the game master's life easier, and ensures they want to keep being a game master. And that's really all I have for you today with regard to the basics around character building. But that doesn't mean we aren't building a character, because we are. We're going to do a thief very shortly. So I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. They ensure that I keep doing this particular program. Okay, and I'm so grateful that they do support me in the way they do. If you've been watching, thank you very much. I hope this was useful, and hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s. Well, I struggled through that, but I got through it. How's that sound? Okay, let's have a look how our chat is going. And then we're going to build a character. You guys are all ready, right? You've got your dice, you've got your pieces of paper and so forth. You're ready to smash things out. I bet. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. So there's a lot of people who have not built a character for Old School Essentials. No, 86%. Incomplete character, 14%. Well, today, along with me, we're going to learn how to make an Old School Essentials thief. Now, you're probably wondering, but Fred, what about all of the other stuff? Hello, how's it going, Mike? How are you? Well, we're definitely going to build the other classes. Okay, so if you were wondering, yes, we're going to do that. One of the things you need to know with regard to Old School Essentials is the class and the race are fused together in the basic version. The advanced Old School Essentials rule set, which I don't have, I'm using the basic rule set, that allows you to separate race and class. But you don't do that in the basic Old School Essentials. So the thief is all in one, you might just say. It's probably the easiest way to describe that. As far as I understand, I've been doing a little bit of study. Hopefully I'm ready for this. Let's have a look at the chat. Dungeons and Chronics is here. Thank you for being here, Dungeons and Chronics. We have Noroak, yes, a patron. And I'm sure he's got his dice ready. I'm sure he told me he had. Prepare, Cook, and Survive. Hello, how are you? You've got your dice ready. Like, people, we could roll down the line, but I think that would be a really bad idea because we probably wind up with a thief that doesn't work. And there are prerequisites for the different playable options, so we need to ensure that we can actually build a thief today. So we won't roll down the line, okay? Now, who else? We've got Michael. Hello, Michael, also a patron. Thank you for being here. Firewood looking out. What firewood? Do we need firewood already? All right, you guys are all just saying hi to each other. So if you're new to my live streams, you'll discover that my live streams tend to be full of people that know each other pretty well. Okay, so don't get too scared. Don't get scared off by that. We want you to take part. Okay, good. What's this bushcraft? I don't know what the bushcraft is all about. What's this here? Backstory: has had a hand chopped off for stealing in the past. Okay, all right. Well, that's pretty short. That's a short backstory. Whole family was murdered. Now I'm an edgelord. Okay, yeah, that's kind of like a classic, isn't that one? The edgelord, lose my hand. My family is gone. Former blacksmith retired and making weapons. They killed my kin, forged my own sword, and vowed to protect the weak. Okay, all right, let's get the character sheet going. I'm new. Well, welcome, Mike. I hope you have 3 6-sided dice because I'm going to get you to make all the decisions today, people. If you were unaware, I do this a lot. When we're building characters, I generally get everybody else to do all the work and I just fill in the details. And then we wind up with something at the end which is possibly playable, but often not. So I just got to warn you now. That's quite a common thing that happens here. I've got a dice giveaway for Call of Cthulhu. I would suggest those of you here who have not joined in the giveaway, I'm going to put the link in now. You need to confirm your email. It's not going to go onto an email list, but it's a heavy metal big Call of Cthulhu D20, and there are 8 winners possible, so join in on that one. How's it going, Overboard? Overboard is a patron and a moderator, and he has a YouTube channel. So, all right, I've stalled it long enough. Let's get this rolling, shall we? Where is my information? Oh, it's raining hard outside. One of the things I really liked the look of when I was checking on this is the fact that this rule set is actually pretty easy to find the information. There's a lot of page referencing going on. Much to my surprise, I did not expect that. I do need to ask you a question though, okay, and please let me know, and that is, do I need to, this is Old School Essentials, the Classics Fantasy Basic Rules. It's free, you can download it, doesn't cost you a thing, okay? You get it off Necrotic Gnome's website. It will not be full of viruses, it's completely fine. And this is the Old School Essentials character sheet. But is the Old School Essentials character sheet, do I need to magnify it more, people? That's what I need to know from you. So as I set up my phone, and as I get ready to deal with the incoming carnage as you roll your dice for these attributes, because Old School Essentials is a roll your attributes first sort of game. Or should I say abilities. Abilities. And we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6, of course. Now, where's my phone? Has anybody let me know if I need to magnify the character sheet? I am quite happy to do so. I will shift up and down on it anyway, so that's not a big deal. But it would be good to know. Okay. All right, let's have a look and see what you've said. Welcome, welcome. Got your 3d6? Good. Yep, good. Can't read the sheet. Okay, I'm going to... Yes, please, Fred. Magnifying the character sheet now. 1, 2, 3. We're going to go quite large. Okay. What do you reckon? Now, I can scroll down from here. You hopefully can read everything. At the top, we have the PC's name, class. I'm going to put the class in now. Thief. Whoops, that didn't work. What did I do there? Oh, capitals. Thief. I will magnify the Old School Essentials information as well, so it's a bit larger. And I believe if we scroll through here, it comes to about page... Is it page 12, character building? I like the layout of these rules, by the way. It was easy to find things generally. There were a few times where I kind of felt a little bit lost, but it's not too bad. It's pretty good. And yeah, creating a character. Okay, here we go. We've got plenty of people in here. Perfect. All right, good. So starting off, it says here, roll 3 6-sided dice for each of your character ability scores. You have strength, intelligence, wisdom, dexterity, constitution, and charisma. And then it says see ability scores on page 12 after that. Okay. Now, if you get a subpar character, that means you get like everything is under 8 or less, then we can adjust things. But I don't think that's likely to happen. Hashtag. We're not going to roll down the line, people. We're going to, because you are allowed to assign them. So hashtag roll 3 6-sided dice. Okay, now please give me all 3 numbers so that I can add them up. Okay, rather than giving me the total, roll those dice now, put them out there, and I will start listing them down, adding them up for people. Thank you. There we go. Noroak's done the first one. I am blind as a bat too, mate, so don't feel bad because my eyes are getting old. Okay, so Noroak has got a 6, 3, and a 3. Okay, good. 6, 3, and 3 comes to actually 12. It's not bad. And Prepare, Cook, and Survive got a 6, a 2, and a 2. So 6, 2, 2 is 10. So we've got a 12, a 10. Dungeons and Chronics, you've got here 5, 6, and 1. Okay, 5, 6, and 1. Nothing particularly horrible at this point. So 5, 6, and 1, that comes to 12 again. Okay, that's that Dungeons and Chronics. Michael, you've got here... No, Michael, you want to roll just 3 dice. Just 3 6-sided dice. That's it. It's not modern Dungeons and Dragons. This is going right back. or actually that's not even fair, because Advanced Dungeons and Dragons First Ed Edition had multiple ways for rolling your ability scores. There were many techniques, so that's probably not true, is it? Yeah. What do we got here? Mike TW, what do you got here? You've got 5, 1, and 5. Okay. 5, 1, and 5. Which is still a very good score. That comes to 11. Overboard. Well done, Overboard. Now we're talking. We've got a 2, a 4, and a 1. So that's going to be a... that's 7, isn't it? Here we go. We've got a 7. And then, Michael, you have rolled... no, old school is 3d6. There is, but it's not very common. I believe if you look at AD&D First Ed Edition, there were multiple techniques that you could use. But one of the things that they did say they recommended, I believe, rolling 4 6-sided dice, and then there were a whole lot of other techniques as well. And you drop the lowest, something like that. Okay, so we've got... what did I get mixed up on? I got 2, 4, and 1, and then we go to Michael Stan. Okay, Michael Stan, I've got you now. 5, 4, and 5. So that comes out as a 14. So we've got a 14 as probably our highest modifier. Well done, well done. Okay, so having a look at this, if you roll a character with very poor ability scores, for example, an 8 or less in every score, which we did not do, or extremely low rating in one ability. So we have a 7. I wouldn't say that's an extremely low rating in one ability. The referee may allow you to discard the character and start again. So in this case, we just don't have the time. And since I can be counted as the game master in this place, we're just not going to worry about it. We're just going to stick with the 7. Okay. All right. Next, we've selected our class. We did that already. So that it was supposed to be... Okay, now select one of the classes available. See the character classes page 16. Bear in mind the minimum ability score requirements of some classes. The chosen class determines your character's race unless a demi-human class is selected. The character is a human. So in other words, you're human otherwise. Okay, this is going to be interesting. What are the first things that I find kind of cute about the whole thing is you roll your ability scores and that determines what classes you can play. So this is what Old School Essentials is trying to do. There is an option here to make ability score adjustments. If you wish, you may raise your character's primary requisite by lowering another prime requisite ability score. So you can increase one ability score, I believe it is, by 1, but you have to drop one of your others by 2, and you can't do that to anything if the score is already, if the score would be lower than a 9. So you don't want to be doing that. That's not going to be allowed. I don't think that's I think the idea of adjusting the ability scores is a really bad idea. I don't recommend doing it whatsoever. You're kind of losing out quite a lot by doing that. Some character classes may have additional constraints, so we'll have a look in a second. Only strength, intelligence, and wisdom may be lowered in this way. So you can only make adjustments to strength, intelligence, and wisdom in this way if you want to. So that's interesting. They really have been very careful about what you can increase and what you can't increase. So they're staying away from Dex, Con, and Charisma, as far as I can tell, which is kind of interesting. Okay, so let's go turn to the page on the classes, which is 16. And where is 16? Here we go, 16. So that's alignment. We'll deal with that in a second. Is that page 16? No, it's not page 16. Okay, all right. So that's the cleric. We're not doing a cleric today. That's the fighter. We're not doing a fighter today. That's the magic user, and we're not making a magic user today. Can we make a thief? Okay, here are the requirements. There are none, but our prime prerequisite needs to be Dex. So our Dex needs to be as high as possible. So we're going to take the 14 for our Dex. I think that is the no-brainer. Dexterity. Here we go. Dexterity. Our hit dice is not great. I'm going to get you to roll the hit dice right now, actually. So hit points. and we'll get you to roll it. It's a roll a four-sided dice. Hashtag roll a four-sided dice. There we go. All right, get those four-sided dice out, people, that you've got, if you've got them, and roll away. Now, the maximum level that we can attain is 14. So it doesn't go up to level 20. It goes to 14. We get leather. We get no shields, any weapons. Our alignment and our languages are alignment and common, which is, I know, sounds really strange, but we'll get there. I guess what we will do is we will get you to, yeah, okay, whoa, Norok just rolled a 1. Oh, and a 4. I've got a couple of 2s and a 4. Okay, I'll tell you what, you guys keep pumping your numbers out, and I'll take the one that comes up the most. How's that sound? I know there's more than a few of you who are capable of rolling four-sided dice. We've got 4 people who've rolled. If somebody else rolls as well. Not good, not looking great. No, you could die very quickly. I feel like we need to make sure we are doing ranged attacks, otherwise it's going to be death very quick. Okay, going to the character sheet. First off, Dex. Ability scores. So that is 14. Now, we've got a 2. We've got 2. It looks like we're taking the 2. 2 seems to be the number. We'll be using that. So we're going to assign our ability scores in a second. We're going to go to a level 1 character, so it's done nice and quick. And our title, well, we get a title later, don't we? So while I'm putting numbers in, I'm going to get you to name the character. Name. Actually, do I want to name the character yet? Because I believe we're supposed to name the character last in this system, aren't we? What's our next step in character creation? So that is 24, and then I wanted to go to 12. Well, I think it's going to be easier if we can actually have a look at how this thing is built. How is this thing built? Thief skills. So climbing sheer surfaces, removing treasure traps, find and remove, hearing noise, hide in the shadows, moving silently, open locks, picking pockets, using scrolls, that's 10th level, reading a language, that's level 4, combat, backstab, we have a backstab ability. Okay, if they're unaware of us, we get a +4 bonus to hit and damage, and doubles any damage dealt. Okay, well that's interesting. Combat, free of movement. Okay, can't wear armor heavier than leather. That's probably because you don't want to be heard, and the penalties, I would imagine. And then, okay, so there's a few things here. I can actually program in a lot of the numbers now based off this, as far as I can tell. Hearing noise, rolling skill checks, other skills, player knowledge. That seems to be the extent of it. That seems to be the most we get out of this. Does it give us an idea of what sort of ability score numbers we really want to have? Not really. It's very light on advice with regard to what would be a good ability score for things. So, given that we don't have any information, I'm going to get you to make some decisions. I think that's the best way to go, don't you? Tricky Ricky. Sneaky Pete. Sneaky Pete. Ah, dear. Sneaky Pete. Tricky Ricky. Okay, we'll come back to them in the name in a second. So you guys have already named it. All right, let's get these different ability scores assigned. This is what we got here. Hashtag ability scores. I'll give you all the numbers. 14. There's 2 12s. We have an 11. A 10, 10, 11, and a 7. So is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Am I missing one? What am I missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 14, 12, 12, 10, 11, 7. Oh no, that's all the numbers. That's right. Okay, those are our ability. That's our numbers. Okay, people, that's what we have. We have to assign the rest of them. Dexterity, I've already put it into 14. Dexterity is a 14. Okay, because that's our prime prerequisite. So we go with the highest one we can find for that one. But the rest of it, I don't care. So, yeah, that's right. That's what we got, Mike. So, hashtag. What ability score do we assign a 12? How's that? We've got two 12s to work with. Okay. Lefty. Yes. Right, so you guys figure out what you want it to be with those 12s, because we've got two 12s to spend, and I will pump in some of the information that I found here. This is on page 22, and then our chart is here. Okay, that's interesting. So at level 1, how does this work? Get 0 XP. So where's the XP section? Did I miss it? XP, experience level. Level 1. Oh, is it the level go there, or does it go somewhere else? I think that's how it's supposed to look. Is that right? And that's supposed to be 0? 0. Okay. Charisma, wisdom. Charisma. Okay, so we've got charisma is definitely going to be 1. Charisma. Okay. 12 in charisma. 12 in charisma. Okay, done that. And someone said wisdom as well. Fine, we'll do wisdom. Wisdom. Wisdom is going to be a 12 as well. Okay. We need to assign the 7. Where's the 7? It's our lowest number. Hashtag. What ability score gets a 7? Okay, you reckon it should be charisma strength, not wisdom. Dungeons and Chronics. Okay, all right. Well, I've marked it down, so we'll leave it at that for now. Let me know what the 7's going to. Where's the 7 going? We've got to put it somewhere. Well, it would be very bad idea to make con a 7. You really seriously want to make con a 7? Intelligence. We've got 2 people who have voted for con as a 7. That's such a bad idea. Con a 7, of all things. I'll let you guys continue voting. Next, I can enter in some of the stats for this. So our saving throws are all calculated on this table. So at level 1 thief, our DW, so 13, 14. So that's 13, 14. So that's death and poison saves is 13. Magic wands is 14. 13 for P. What's 13P? P. 13 P is paralysis and petrification. Oh, okay. Lovely. B is a 16. So each class has different saving throws set up already in advance. Yeah, B is a 16. So that's for dealing with the breath attacks. And what is S? S is a 15. Interesting. 15. Just kidding. All right. Okay. All right. Do you guys really want it? int 7. Int 7. Let's go with the intelligence 7. It's probably a better idea. Strength 7. Okay, how many we got? We got, somebody said con, intelligence, came up 3 times. Strength came up. Okay, intelligence it is. I get it. Intelligence. Done. Whew, you guys are scary. All right. Okay. Hashtag. What score gets an 11? What ability score gets the 11? Okay, let's assign that 11, please. And then the other one will get a 10. My understanding is they're probably very similar, so I don't think there's going to be too much going on with that, but we'll see how we go. Okay. Right, next. To a D20. Reclaimers, melee. Okay, well, that's interesting. It sort of gives you a breakdown of how that works. Okay, so I've done that little bit there. Modifiers from con no longer apply. Okay. So we do get a modifier for that. Wands, Breathwind saves. What's the plus thing all about? I'm kind of curious. Thief skills of chance. I am unsure how that works. Let's have a look here. This is thief skills of chance. If I scroll down, is it this stuff here? Oh, okay. All right. Curious. All right, let's have a look at the back at the character building page and see where we are. We've just about assigned everything. Adjustments. Note ability score modifiers. Now that your ability, your character's ability scores are fixed, make a note of any associated bonuses or penalties over leaf. Okay. All right. So we're going to be doing that. Con. All right. Con it is. Con is 11. Strength is 10. Okay. Sweet. That's fine. We can do that. It's all good. We got a couple of things. That's weapons, abilities, languages. Languages is common and alignment. Alignment. Common. Got that down. By class, extra languages if intelligence is 13 or more. Well, we don't have that. Okay, so that's fine. That's all good. Next, what's our next task that we need to perform? We need to note down the different modifiers, and then we've got to deal with our attack value. Okay, this is, so I'm going to use ascending armor class rather than Thaco. I know some people love Thaco, but I find it painful, so I'm not going to use it. Okay, ability score modifiers. That's not that one there. That's for something else. That's attack values, isn't it? Attack roll. Hard class to hit. Here we go. Is this where we've got to be? Scroll down, modifiers. Here we go. So if we have, so there's no bonus from 9 to 12. Interesting. So 9 to 12 is no bonus. No bonus. So no bonus here either. Let's see. 9 to 12. So we've got a lot of zeros in here. Let's see if we can go that way. Maybe better. And 12. Okay. If we got a 7, what do we get if it's a 7? 7 is 6 to 8, 7 minus 1. Minus 1, okay. Minus 1. Okay, and if we go to 14, what did we get? 13 to 15 is a +1. Okay, so we got a +1. So your modifiers aren't that big, are they? +1. Okay. All right, so I've got that sorted out. So I'm not sure if that's how I'm supposed to present it, but I'm assuming that's kind of the gist of it. Okay, what's the next task that we need to perform on character creation stuff? Native intelligence modifiers. Oh, so this is where the modifiers are for your intelligence. Native, literate, basic, literate, basic. Oh, I see. So this tells you how literate you are, and so our intelligence determines that. Wisdom modifiers. Oh, that's strength. So is it different for each one? Let's have a look. No, that looks like the same number numerical setup. Same numerical setup. Yep, same numerical setup for dexterity as well. Charisma. Same numerical setup. Oh no, charisma's different. Look at this. So strength, the modifiers for melee look about the same for wisdom modifiers, dex modifiers, constitution modifiers. Charisma works differently. Oh, okay. I wasn't expecting that. That's a bit of a shock to the system. So, and we have an XP modifier for our primary prerequisite. So we've got a 13 to 15. Okay, this is going to be interesting. So charisma, what does that charisma come out as? It's a 12. So that means since that table is different, 12, we get no bonus. Okay, so it's not actually any different. It's just at the tail end. I see. You can only go as high as a +2 and as low as a -2, not as a -3. Okay, that's interesting. What does that mean? Loyalty, maximum, retainers, 4. So we can have retainers up to 4. Okay, is there a little section for that? Wisdom modifier to save versus... Okay, so that's wisdom modifier. It'd be a 0, wouldn't it? I think that's correct. Okay, let's have a look at our character building sheet again. Next thing, note the attack values. The level progression chart for your... I just got here. Hello, Brian. How are you doing? I am in the process of trying to nut out how to build this old school essentials character. Just got here. Sorry if this was answered. Do we get racial modifiers for this build? No, because we're using the basic one. So as far as I can tell, there is some reference around restrictions and so forth. But as far as I can tell, it's not built that way. The class and the race are combined together, as far as I can tell here. Advanced old school essentials, you separate the race and the class. This one doesn't do that. Okay. The level progression chart for your character's class lists your THAC0 score. Okay. This indicates your chance of hitting opponents in combat, as determined by the character attack matrix on page 52. Alright. For quick reference, it is convenient to look up the values in the attack matrix row for your character's THAC0, determined by your class and level, and record them on your character sheet. First level characters have a THAC0 of 19, resulting in the attack value shown below. Okay. If we're using the optional ascending armor class, which is kind of more the modern way of doing things, if using the optional rules for ascending armor class on page 9, okay, record your attack bonus on your character sheets instead of the attack matrix quick reference. Okay. Ascending armor class, page 9. Ascending armor class. So if I remember right, THAC0 relates to that table, so it should be the option ascending armor class. All right, okay, I see what we do. So we've got a 19 right now, which means we have an AC hit of 0. Is that right? Is that what we're looking at here? AC 0? Okay, where do I stick this? Armor class. Attack bonus. I think that's what it's supposed to be. AC hit. Attack roll. Ooh, bit of a nutter, this one. Okay. Attack roll is that one. Attack bonus, attack roll. Why it says page 9. But yes, when I go to page 9, I don't see anything on page 9 that indicates this. Ascending armor class, optional rule. Some groups are more familiar with the armor class system than where higher scores are better. This score is known as ascending armor class, abbreviated AAC, and works as follows. Armor class, when using armor class, higher scores are better. Bonus to the armor class increase the AC score and penalties decrease it. Attack rolls. When using AAC, the procedure for resolving attack rolls involves the use of an attack bonus instead of a THAC0 score and attack matrix. Use the ascending armor class results in very slightly different attack probabilities than when using the traditional approach of ascending armor class with an attack matrix. It's actually quite confusing, this bit. I don't know if anybody's noticed this. It's actually really confusing. When you look at this and you're thinking, okay, what does that mean? We're not wanting page 52 because that's THAC0. I thought I had this nutted down. THAC0's 19. I would have thought this was it here. But it's not even remotely clear. At all. Okay. Alright. I like the idea they're including page references, but I'm kind of a little unsure about how they have come up with the information that they've got. Page 52. Will that make it clearer? No, it doesn't. Page 52. Attack matrix. Not even remotely clear at all. The attack matrix. Okay, if the character class from the other books are in use, the THAC0 score listed in the level adjustment table determines your row in the character matrix. Okay, so this is definitely THAC0, so that won't help us. That must mean that the other one applies that I was looking at. 24, no, 12, 13, 12, 13, 13. So it's got to be this table here. Okay, what do we got here? What are you people saying? Isn't it like if the thief has leather armor, Gary the armor class is like 3, which would be a 6-2 head, something like that. I didn't like the old school way of doing armor class. Now, neither did I, but I'm not a fan of what they're doing here. Because it strikes me as actually a little confusing in terms of how they've worked it out. Because, I mean, that gives you a chart and a table, but it doesn't make it clear what it is. unless there's something going on here. If we had leather armor, I suppose it makes a big difference. So we're going to come back to attack values because I don't think it's very obvious from there. And note the saving throws and class abilities. Record any special abilities possessed by your character as a result of their class, as well as your character's saving throws. Now, I did that already. If your character has a spell book, ask your referee which spells are recorded in it. The referee may allow you to choose. Roll hit points. We did that. Determining your character's hit points by rolling the die type, which was a d4 for a thief, appropriate to your chosen class. Modifiers for high or low constitution apply. Your character always starts with at least 1 hit point regardless of con modifier. Okay. Oh, hang on. Here's an interesting thing. This is an optional rule, which we won't necessarily use. If you roll for your hit points and it comes up a 1 or a 2 before applying con modifier, the referee may allow you to re-roll. Okay, so it sort of leaves it open for the game master to say, okay, if you roll a 1 and a 2, you can re-roll it. This is in order to increase the survivability of a first level character. Interesting. Interesting. Well, we're going to take the 2, and what is our modifier? I don't think it was very much for a con. I think it was pretty bad. If anything, it was a 0. So we got 2 hit points. But that does sort of suggest that if you're rolling a 4-sided dice, you're really only going to accept a 3 or a 4 as a roll. If you've got a game master who's willing for your character to live beyond just a couple of hits. That really means that we can't afford to be up close at all. Low AC is better. As per the D&D basic rule set. Yeah, but ascending armor class sort of suggests... Well, I will get to it. I'm sure there's a solution to this. I just haven't spotted yet. The attack bonus we'll deal with later. Maximum hit points. These are a few things to figure out here. I should probably transfer over a lot of these numbers. Choose an alignment. So you get to either have lawful, neutral, or chaotic. So that's what you guys can do right now while you're waiting. Hashtag, and I get the rest of it done. What alignment? What alignment? Okay, pick an alignment, and it's either lawful, neutral, or chaotic. Just one of those. Note known languages. I did it. Your character class determines the native languages. These always include the common tongue and the character's alignment language. See languages on page 14. Characters with a high int may. So is there a different alignment language for a different class? Page 14. Common alignment languages. Okay, here we go. All intelligent beings know a secret unwritten language of gestures, signs, and code words associated with their alignment. The secret language allows beings of the same alignment to communicate. Beings of another alignment will recognize when an alignment language is being used, but will not understand. It is not possible to learn another alignment language except by changing alignment, in which case the former language is forgotten. I'm going to say it now, I don't like alignment languages. No, you can't pick evil, people. There's 3 choices. Somebody said neutral good. It's just neutral then. It's just going to be neutral. Neutral it is. Yeah, we're going neutral. Neutral. I can see people are going to go a different direction. Neutral it is. Neutral. Okay, I can understand why some people may have never actually built a character for the system, or frankly have not been able to complete a character because it don't seem that easy. There's a little bit of a learning process going on here. 12. Okay, so we've done that bit. I did that. We've got alignment. Okay, known languages. We've looked at that. We've figured that all out. We've got to do some... Oh, you got to roll some dice to get us some money sorted out, people. Oh, thank God for that. Let's get the dice rolling. Hashtag. Let's go. Roll 3 6-sided dice. Okay, that's so your character starts play with 3d6 times 10 gold pieces. See wealth on page 15. Okay, you may spend as much of this money as you wish to equip your character for adventure. Consulting the equipment lists under equipment on page 24. Okay, all right. Remember, your chosen class may restrict your use of some equipment, especially weapons and armor. That's a good point. Okay. All right, so where was I? I was trying to get, well, you guys are rolling that. Let's get the, not the magic user. Is it this one? Thief. Let's get your details in. Nope. Movement, language, equipped items. What are people rolling? Okay, Mike, you've got 6, 3, and 2, so we'll take that. Gold. Now, gold is 6, 3, and 2. Add them up. That's 8, 11 multiplied by 10 equals $110. Okay, 110 gold. So we've got 110 gold. Is there a gold section here? Encumbering items, clothes, rags, packed items, strength. Okay, interesting. Odd, but interesting. Well, that's where the experience points go. Okay, all right, 0. Are there different levels for experience points? Does each character have a different prerequisite? Oh, the prime prerequisite modifier for experience. So there was that number that we were looking at before, wasn't there? And where was it? It wasn't under there. These are some of the numbers on the thief. Are these things that I can fill in? These look like skills of some kind. Does it line up with any of these? No, 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 no. Listening at a door. Not even remotely clear. Skills of chance. Okay, all right. Remember the discount when buying gloves. Okay, all right, so there's a discount when buying gloves as well. All right, so reaching that backstab. Let's just enter in some of these different abilities because I'm going to lose them otherwise. Backstab, and it's on page 22. All of this stuff, page 22. And that's equipment. Okay. Backstab. $22. It's only a first level character. I wonder if we can just cut and paste it into there. That would be super helpful. Paste. Okay. All right. So I know what that is. Combat. Because of your need for stealth and free movement, thieves cannot wear armor. Okay, we've already got that one. Reading languages, we don't need to worry about that. That's 10th level scrolls. Thieves skills. Okay, so this has got the... This might be related to what I was looking at before. Thieves can use the following skills when the chance of success shown opposite. So climb sheer surfaces, CS. A roll is required for each, is that feet, 100 feet to be climbed. If the roll fails, the thief falls or at the halfway point suffering falling damage. Okay, all right. So I think that has kind of at least given me an idea of what that stuff is all about. It's just about where it's supposed to go and how those numbers relate. Level 9, reaching level 9, you can establish a thieves' den. Okay, well, I'm glad to see there's a thieves' den involved. Rolling checks, hearing noises, player knowledge. Okay, so a lot of this is fairly basic. All right. All right. Back to 12. Where were we? We're going to buy some stuff shortly. Equipment. 0. Name the character. And we had a couple of names already, so let's stick a name in there now. I still have to figure out those other values. It's really not clear. Listen at the door, finding a da-da-da. Weird. Okay, all right. Sneaky Pete. No title as such. Remember the discount we're buying. Okay, yeah. There's also this this experience point adjustment that I'm sure I found the information on not so long ago, and then I lost it again. So if we scroll down, wisdom, dexterity. Okay. So we got a 14, so we get a plus 5%. Because that was prime is dexterity, and we got a 14. So it must be plus 5, yeah? I would say that's the percentage. Plus 5. Next experience level. Where is that determined? Where is that determined? How do I know when the next experience point level is? XP awards. Level advancement. Is there a section on level advancement? Languages. Saving throws, attack rolls, open gaming. No. No. Yeah. Does it work the same way, a different way? No, no, no. Okay. That's that bit. No, it's languages. Coin values. How does this work? Okay, so that's just that part. Experience. Characters receive an XP bonus or penalty based on their scores in their class prime prerequisites. See ability scores. This modifier is applied to the grand total XP a particular character receives at the end of an adventure. Okay, so that's good to know. All the characters who make it through an adventure alive receive experience points XP awarded by the referee. See page 39. XP is gained from 2 sources: treasure received and monsters defeated. Okay, that's a pretty simple system. Taxation. So it looks to me like page 36 might have the progression on it. It looks like that might be where it is. 36. Can I find page 36? 39, isn't it? 39. That's not it. Is that 39? No. Further. Okay. All right. So is there no table that actually indicates when you level up? Am I missing something? Top of the hour. I know I need to go and have a break. This is actually painful. I had looked at this and I thought, oh, okay, this doesn't seem too bad, but actually there's definitely made the effort to try to make it easier to find stuff, but it's still bollocks if you ask me. Trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do next and where it is, because I see nothing that goes on about like what's the next level of experience you require. Character attack. No, that's the Thaco thing. That's Thaco game. Okay, so this is the end of the document. So I don't know where that is. That is peculiar. You would think that there would be something that would indicate what level you go to. Is it because it's the basic rules, or is it because I'm thinking about this the wrong way? Do you arbitrarily, is it some sort of arbitrary reason for figuring out when the next lot of experience points are required. Very, very strange. Very strange. It's not even remotely clear. Okay, I'm going to go take a break, and for the life of me, I'm going to tell you now, there are a few sections in this that I don't know how to fill out. I don't know what to put in here. I don't know where to find that information. Notes, I'm not worried too much about the notes right now. We probably need to buy some equipment. So what equipment do we get? Hashtag. What equipment do we need? You can sort that out. Back in the day, we used to make a lot of shortcuts when creating characters. Max hit points, stuff like that. 10-foot pole, most important thing. Okay. All right. I'm going to take a break. I am still unaware as to what I'm supposed to do here. What am I supposed to be putting here? Is filling out this section just taking the modifier from the ability? Is that what it means by putting it there? It's not clear. Max hit points. Hit points 2. Well, we know we only got 2. Con modifier to hit points. Well, that's 0. Well, I know. Okay, so that's better, I guess. Unarmored AC is plus dex. Okay, so there, unarmored, okay, it's actually got a little bit of information on the side. I suppose that helps direct you a bit. Dex +1 and 10. So unarmored, you've got 11. That would be AC. Interesting. Dex modifier to armor class, +1. Okay. Strength modifier to melee attack damage. Well, it'd be 0. And Dex modifier to missile fire. Well, that would be, Dex would be 1. I guess +1. It'd be +0. That's a plus already. That's a static number. Okay. All right. Listen at the door. 1 to 6 or by class. Listen at door. And that's got to be initiative, right? Optional. Dex modifier to initiative. Optional. Well, that would be +1 because we've got a dex modifier of 1. I'm pretty sure. Yes, we do. Charisma modifier to reaction rolls. Really? So that's a +0. Movement, overland, exploration, encounter. All right, that's okay. All right, I'm gonna go take a break and then I'll try to figure out the rest of this. It's pretty difficult, I have to say. I had honestly thought that Old School Essentials would be like a piece of cake, because all of the videos that I've watched where people have pre-recorded and filled in all the details, it seemed piece of cake. It seemed easy. I looked at the document. I want to say right now, I'm not terribly impressed. I hate to say it. Is it just the layout of the book? Is it the rule system itself? I'm going to say now, I don't like what I see. Now, I'm really used to more modern versions of D&D, and maybe that's the problem. But honestly, I found that very, very difficult. Okay, I'm putting up this this giveaway, and I will be back in 5 minutes. So don't run away just yet. Okay, coming back in. Let's see if we can dissect this a bit better. Rope, torches. All right, I see people are trying to select some gear now. Let's see, is that there? No, that's not right. So we're going to jump over to our character sheet now. There we go. All right, so what are people saying in the chat here? What have I missed? Rope, torches, okay. 2 daggers if you can get by their armor. Armor should be good, yes. If it's like AD&D or earlier, there's not the list of level XP means you get list abilities, because these abilities gained with level essentially didn't exist. I see. So that's why I can't find it. Thieves' tools may be a maybe a robe. Okay. All right. How's it going, Steve Zurich? How are you doing? Hope you have been well, Fred. Been busy, but I have been happy to see that you're doing so much great content. Well, I'm glad you like what I'm doing. I was happy when the advanced rules came out. It made things a lot better. Okay. Night, everybody. I'll see you later. Prepare, cook, and survive. Yeah, definitely needs I'm going to work my way through this, because I've got to build 3 more characters using this system. And if it's as difficult to navigate and figure out as this, it's going to be hugely painful. I don't understand why it's so difficult. You'd think with such a small rule system it would be easy to navigate, but it's not actually that simple. Lock picking tools, okay. Coin master, alright. Set of gloves. I would really need to see a list of equipment again. Lantern, yeah, I'm going to look through that right now. Let's go to the equipment, because that's probably something that needs to be sorted out. So each class specifies the number of experience points required to achieve experience level. So would that not be under class? So it does state that it does exist. So am I missing it? I'm not going to keep looking for it. We're just going to go and do some equipment. Wealth. So equipment's on page 24. Page 24. Wherever page 24 is. Where is that? Just checking my numbers. Things that I have to fill in. No, none of them. Okay, good. Just check it. Page 24. Oh, inheritance, character class. Okay, so the cleric, look, there's the experience points listed on the cleric's table, right there. So the cleric has it, so why didn't I not find it on the thief? Am I just blind? Fighter has it. Magic user has it. There's the table right there. It's part of the existing. Okay, so the thief, and was I just blind and not seeing it? Oh, there it is. It's right there. Okay, so to get to level 2, you need 1,200. All right, okay. I got myself into a bit of a kerfuffle there, didn't I? 1,200. Okay, so the table is there. I'm just blind as a bat, getting myself into a I got my knickers into a twist. Okay, so 24. I still don't know what to do with all that table there. I don't know how I'm supposed to figure that one out. Anyway, so various things that you might need. 5 gold backpack, crowbar, garlic, grappling hook, hammer, holy water, holy simple, iron spikes, lantern, mirror, oil, pole. That's a 10-foot pole. Rations, iron ration 7 days, standard ration 7 days. Okay. Rope, sack, large and small, stakes, thieves' tools. Well, I think it's pretty obvious we need to get the thieves' tools, but I'm a little worried about getting that until we know what armor we're wearing, because I feel like we need to put some armor on. Water skin, wine, wolfsbane. Okay, it goes over how each one works. Okay, that's nice. Here's our weapons. We probably want to have a weapon that we can use at distance. So a short bow is short sword. Short bow is 25. Long bow wouldn't be an option necessarily. Ammunition, armor. Here we go. Armor is interesting. Here we go. This is what we needed, right? Armor. It's got 7, and then it's got 12. I'm assuming that the armor class is the 12, and the cost is of course 200. 20, not 200, 20. So that means we go armor class, wherever the heck you are again, 12. Do we add our dexterity modifier? It's not entirely clear from the rule set that I'm looking at here. It's not really clear. Unencumbered, equipped. Okay. Anything held, actively in use, or ready to use at short notice. Armor worn, shields or weapons held, sheathed weapons, irons worn on a belt. Okay, so let's put here leather armor, because we just bought some. And it doesn't appear to have a section for gold written in. So I'm assuming we just write down our gold here. So that's be $90 gold. We had 110. Okay. All right. Our coin weight. Do we need to note down coin weight? There's rules, optional rules for encumbrance. If the optional rules for encumbrance are used, that's on page 41. Armor and weapons are treated as follows. 1. Basic encumbrance. Leather armor counts as light armor. Chainmail and plate armor counts as heavy armor. Okay. Option 2. Detailed encumbrance. The listed weight of armor and weapons is tracked. The listed weight of missile weapons already includes the weight of ammo and its container. Okay. The listed weight of missile weapons already includes the weight. Okay, if it's ammunition. So we don't have to count the ammunition, which is kind of nice. But it means if we were tracking weight, it would be 200. I'll put that in there beside the leather armor. If we decide we want to figure out the encumbrance nonsense. Is that Thaco or modern or... What's that, Fred? Is this Thaco or modern? Plus is better. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I honestly am not too sure. I agree, Michael. We need a backpack and a water skin as well. Absolutely. A couple of PCs created programs would write late ADD. Yeah. Guys, you're going to have to help me rather than distract me. So don't tell me about the old stuff, because it's not going to help me. Okay. All other equipment packed in sacks, backpacks, and combat retrieved in a pack item optionally takes 1 round. Okay, so it takes a round to get things out. All right. Strength modifier optional. Optionally remove slots at the top of the list based on the character's strength. Remove the top 3. Okay. If not using this optional rule. Okay, there's a lot going on here. Oh my. Oh my. Okay, let's get some more stuff. Let's get a weapon. Somebody had said daggers. I think we should also take a short bow, because as far as I remember, we had access to everything. Did we not? pretty sure we did. So short bow, weight is 30, and it's 7. All right. So that's 83. 83. And we put in our short bow. And its weight is 30, correct? If we're dealing with the weight nonsense. Somebody said 2 daggers. 2 daggers, so they're 3 gold, and they weigh 10. Okay. 3 gold, weigh 10. Dagger. Dagger times 2. Times 2, and that's weight is 2 times 10 equals 20. There's our weight for that. All right. And we took the bow off the 3, so that is now, that's 77. Okay, we've still got plenty of money. We've got plenty of time. Oh, good, I hope so. Right, so we've got that bit. We've got a bunch of other things here. Oh, so this tells you the damage for a weapon. So daggers are 1d4. Missile and melee. The short bow is 1d6. Okay. Alright, so is there a section for writing that stuff in? I don't see anything that represents that. Do we not write those things up? Do we not need to have the information so we know what we're rolling in terms of damage on these things? There doesn't seem to be a section that does that. Okay, let's do this. I guess dagger. Short bow. Alright, I guess that's a starting point. Okay, alright, that's, sheesh. Okay, so there is listen at door, LD. Exploration. This looks like it's broken down, but it's not. It's not. Do those symbols actually translate over? Okay. So Brian, you prefer Thaco because that's how I learned to play. When I tried to play modern rules, it feels backwards and confusing. Well, I find it all confusing right now. My very first character was a thief, and I always carried 2 daggers on my chest and one in my belt. Seems like a sensible thing to do. The AC number in brackets is your modern, plus is better. Okay. It's probably the way that someone played 3rd, 5th, and the first. Okay, all right. Next weapon, just put it in. Information there. So yeah, I think we're going to have to do that. I would like to at least be able to assign these sodding things if I could figure out what the hell's going on there. But anyway. Anyway, yeah, let's just put at least the damage in there so I know what the damage is. It's a 1d4, and that is a 1d6. I've got to figure out what the actual to hit. What are we rolling to hit? That would be good to know. Okay, damage. Die roll when using the optional roll for variant weapon damage. Okay, there's just way too much going on here, people. Okay, let's go back. Let's get some more of our equipment sorted out. And I'll try to sort out the other bits and pieces. So backpack. So it looks to me like there's no weight restriction on these items. It's only your armor and your weapons that seem to be related to that. Oh, apart from arrows. A quiver of arrows. 5 gold, and you get 20. Interesting. All right, let's at least put that down. Arrows, quiver of 20. Arrows. Is this where I put this one? Necklace, arrows. I think arrows are supposed to go here. Quiver. 20. It doesn't seem to have a weight, but it is 5 gold, so I deduct 5 gold from my pool. Okay, got that one. Alright, so we got some ammunition for it. Now, all of the basic equipment, there's a backpack is 5 gold. 5 gold. 67. Backpack, now where would the backpack be listed? It's not going to be here, it'll be here. I'm not entirely sure whereabouts it's supposed to be placed. Backpack, strength 10. Alright, backpack. Next, somebody had said, what was it? Lantern, 10. We probably need the thieves tool, so let's get the thieves tools at 25. 25. Let's go with 25. Take it off. 25. That is 42. 42 thieves tools, and they would live. No. Belts. Yeah, probably here. Thieves tools. Okay. Somebody had said a water skin. Water skin is 1 gold. I guess water skin. 1 gold. 41. Does that not count the actual arrows? Are they arrows separate? Well, it says ammunition. Where does it say just you have to buy the arrows separately? There's nothing to indicate there that that's the case. I don't see arrows anywhere. I don't think you're buying them. Why would you buy individual arrows? It would make no sense. It's a quiver of 20 for 5 gold. It wouldn't make any sense. Why would you do that? Not unless you want to punish people for playing the game. It would be strange. Okay, water skin. We've done the water skin. Thank you. All right. Rations. Let's get the standard rations. 7 days. 5 gold. All right. I think somebody had said that already. 36. Rations. Standard. Rations would go in here, correct? Rations. Standard. All right. Next. Somebody said a 10-foot pole. Pole, which is just 1 gold, isn't it? Pole. 10 feet. Okay. Wineskin, bedroll. Okay, I'm getting there. I'm on my way. Alright, let's have a look. You want a wineskin? Bedroll seems like a good idea. Is there a bedroll? I thought there was. Sack. Rope. Apparently you don't get a bedroll. You're gonna rough it. Rope, probably should have rope. 1 gold for rope. 1 gold. rope. Okay. Mounts retainers. Apparently you can have retainers as well. I'm kind of curious how retainers work, but I feel like that is like a, let's at least solve the mystery that is going on here. First attack bonus and these numbers here. I think I'm starting to get an idea of what the heck is supposed to be happening there. I figured out the other ones. That's good news. Fighter progression. No, it's got to be the thief. Under the thief. So under the thief we have this, and we just need to get these numbers here sorted. So LD is listen at door. There's nothing there for LD. Is it called something else? Climb shear surfaces. Nothing marries up. It's just thief skills. Like, I mean, I suppose I could just write down thief skills. Abilities, thief skills. Thief skills. Okay. Find room trap, find secret door, open stuck door. Let's see if I can just port some of this stuff in. Can I just copy all that? Encounters. Possibly using your action table on encounters. Do you know, this reminds me of one of my biggest frustrations with every version of Dungeons and Dragons I've ever played, is it's so hard to navigate. It is so hard to navigate. Okay, armor, we have leather, no shield. Armor, armor, leather. No shield. Can't use a shield. This is page 22. Weapons, any. Okay. Page 22. How am I supposed to get past doing the cleric and the wizard? I can't imagine. I'm going to do the fighter next. There's no way I'm going to be able to survive those spellcasters until I've got my head around what the heck is going on here. And that's 22, isn't it, too? 22, alignment, weapons, armor, max. 22. 22. How are we doing here? Bedroll, you buy 2 blankets and whatever you want in your bedroll. Retainers are charisma based. Are they? That would make sense. Well, we've got retainers means that we could potentially have retainers, but I have to figure out how those work. Don't I? Don't I? Yeah, okay, let's see if we can decipher some of this nonsense here. Because at least we've got the numbers in for most of the character sheet. The attack bonus 12 doesn't seem right. It seems really weird that it would be that way. I had always assumed that it would be an armor value plus your dexterity, but maybe it's not. Maybe how that works is different, and I'm just not aware of that. No, those are spells. Spells, more spells. There must be a playing the game. Organizing, mallet, map, awarding experience points. No, we don't want this. We want how does combat work? How do the numbers get calculated? Rolling an ability check. Okay. Roll the d20, the result is less than or equal to the ability. The check succeeds if this roll is greater than the ability. The check. Okay, that's a different system. Okay. All right. Death. Yeah. Okay. 0, you're dead. Fine. Categories. Rolling a saving throw. Win a saving throw. Okay, this is not going to help me in the slightest. Come on, where is the thing that I'm looking for? There's got to be a section that states the difference between how to calculate THACO and how to calculate armor class and then attack rolls. Surprise, initiative, actions, melee, evasion, monster reaction rolls. Okay, movement, conclusion, combat. Okay, are we starting to get where I need to be? Slow weapons, individual weapons. Oh my god. +1 to attack rolls. Short range, medium range, long range penalties. Cover. All right. How am I... At some point, I've got to try to explain to somebody how to play this game. And I'm going to struggle to figure it out myself. Okay, here we go. Attack rolls. 1d20. Apply modifiers. Strength for melee. Dex for ranged. Cover for missile attacks. Okay, so that's your attack roll. Determine hit AC. Look up the result in the attack matrix row data. This is the THACO. This includes the AC score that the attack. All right, so we're going to skip that one. I want to get to the other one. Okay, so this is roll a d20, apply strength or dex modifiers for missile attacks. Okay, that's fine. Determine hit AC. Add the attacker's bonus. The result is the ascending AC score. The attack hits. Okay, add the attacker's attack bonus. The result is the ascending AC score. The attack hits. If the hit AC is equal to or higher than the opponent's AAC, the attack hits. Referee rolls for damage. God, I don't miss some of these old mechanics. There are mechanics in modern games that piss me off, but God, I don't like this stuff. Okay, let's see if I can decipher this. It seems to me that if I look at a character sheet like this, and I look at what we've got here, it's clear that the dagger is strength. There's 0 modifier. Dex is a +1. 2 hit. Hit is going to be, for a dagger, it's going to be a plus. I think that's a not a strength-based weapon, though. I think it's finessed, isn't it? The bow is a +1. I don't think we get any benefit outside of that. That's it. We roll our 20-sided dice, we add that. That's figured out. Rolling for damage. Okay, so weapon damage. Minimum damage on attack, which hits always deals at least 1 point of damage. Okay, even when the damage modifier reduces the number rolled to 0 or less. Okay. Variable. Inflicts 1d6 damage of melee is modified by strength. That's for an attacking roll. Okay, so this is attacks. Right. So does it say how? Geez, it doesn't do that, does it? Well, at least I'm going to learn a lot about how to write a role-playing game. No. Oh, this is going to be painful. Fun build, need to go, no problems. I don't know if I felt like it was fun. This was a lot of work. Honestly, this was really hard. So let me just point out right now, I want to say it. If you were feeling like it was hard to build a character for this system, if you were feeling like you made a character and it was a struggle, so yes, so 18% out of the 28 votes have actually made an Old School Essentials character. So you guys figured it out. No, 68% said no, they've never made one. Incomplete character, 14%. So there's almost a percentage of you that literally could have not been able to finish it, because it's so difficult to figure out. Honestly, it's actually really awful. Thaco to hit AC 0. Pre-calculated number on the D20 to hit an enemy has an AC equal. Fred, that doesn't tell me anything. Any roll higher, equal or higher is a hit. Okay, that's cool. But here's the problem. It's not obvious at all what the armor class would be. If you're wearing leather armor, and you have a +1 dexterity modifier, is your armor class 12 or is it 13? It's unnecessarily complex. Norok, that's exactly it. When I release my game rule system on Patreon, people, please tell me if what I put down is as confusing as this shit. Because I honestly expected better from this. From all the things I'd heard from No Fun Allowed, Trevor, and other people, like Old School Essentials is really good and much easier to understand. Oh my God, no, it's not. It's not. So that's all I want to know. If you have an armor class, and if you have leather armor and you've got a +1 dex modifier, does that mean you have an armor class, an AC, not THACO, armor class of 12 or 13? It's 11. But how can it be 11? It doesn't make sense, Brian. Why would I go backwards? Because the actual book states. Let me just show you this. Let me just show you this right now. I'm going to say it right now. There's a very slim chance that I will do this again with this rule system. It says here, leather. It's got AC, which means armor class, right? It's got a 7. Well, it can't be 7, right? And then it's got 12. So I had taken the one in the brackets to mean that that is the armor class. I don't know what the 7 means. Does that make sense? Am I missing something? Tell me, Brian, am I missing something? Because for the life of me, I can't see how this system makes any sense whatsoever. Leather equals 1 plus dex. Smaller is better. Bonus equals... What? Leather equals 11 plus dex. Smaller is better. Got it. Bonus 1 equals ace armor class 6. Okay. So you're telling me that the armor class is a 6. Is that what you're saying? There is a reason 5e, Call of Cthulhu, and Monsters of the Week system is great. They are simple and effective. So Fred, is that what you're saying? Is that the armor class is actually 6? That looks like what you were saying to me. Armor class is 6. 7 is AC under THACO for leather. Oh, so that's the THACO. But if we wanted the actual armor class that's not THACO, THACO can burn in hell. THACO can burn in hell. For those of you who are old school and thought you were not going to get that response from me, I can tell you now, I always hated it. I always hated it. And this does not explain it very well at all. Yes, I know Thaco, but if you were trying to go with the ascending armor class, how do you figure out the difference between it? How do you figure out your armor, your attack bonus? Like, that's another big, huge question. If I had to fill out this section, where do I get that information from? That's the big you know, people, I am probably not going to do this again until I figure out what the heck drugs these guys were on. Okay? And that is not going to help me. That lines it up, but it doesn't have a section on the character sheet for it, which I suppose you can't because it's a thief. Is that what's going on there? Okay. If using the optional, yeah, no, I honestly, I can't for the life of me, I can't fathom what's going on here. It is pretty obvious I'm never going to play this game. I can, unless somebody can explain it to me, and this actually, I have got a question right now, before I go to work, before I lose my temper. Cocaine, without a doubt. Before I lose my temper, I'm going to tell you what. I'm just looking at this and I'm just wondering what am I supposed to do with this. I'm going to apologize to anybody who has thought that I might have got to grips with what was going on here, but I have not. What I will say is I'm going to end this poll here. I think it's clear to me. My +3 plate is a +3 plate regardless of who is attacking. AC is independent of attacker. Right, okay. I'm going to end this poll here. All right. So this is where I'm going to lose my temper. I can see it now. Hashtag. I am curious. Is it Kelsey, whoever the heck her name is? Would you like to see the new, what is it called? Is it Shadow Dark RPG character creation? I'm going to ask that question for those of you who are still here and haven't decided to run away because Freddie got so frustrated trying to figure it all out. Undecided. I am amazed that there's still people here. I'm only putting in 3 options, people. Would you like to see the new Shadow Dark RPG character creation? If I was a layman and I had never played the game with anybody before, I could not play Old School Essentials. I would need to have somebody play with me who already knew how to play. Now, I believe that Kelsey from the Arcane Library, Thaco just adds all bonuses and penalties on the attacker in advance. Right, okay. So, I'm still not going to be able to figure out. If I was a completely new person and I had to figure out how to play this game, I would not be able to play Old School Essentials. Is Kelsey's game going to be any better? I'm kind of curious. Me like shadows and darkness, so yes. Now that's an old school system as well, but I understand that she doesn't use Thaco at all, so there'll be no explanation about Thaco. There would only be ascending armor class and attack bonuses. And I haven't had a chance to look in depth at it, but I know it's available for free. So So I'm kind of curious how people feel about that. Undecided, yes. Okay, so we got a yes and undecided out of 5 votes. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm going to put up a poll on my channel. Instead of giving you like a scenario that we can play through and make some decisions, I'm going to put up a poll for next week. Because next week I thought I was coming back to this. But it's no good if I don't understand it. If I don't fully understand what's going on, how can I communicate that to anybody else? That's your biggest problem, right? I'm really sorry for those people who are expecting more. I need to spend some time with somebody who's actually built a character, and instead of typing stuff up, I suppose what I need to do is sit down and in a conversation where I can talk verbally with them, build a character. That I think is what needs to happen with Old School Essentials. So I'm not going to say I'm never going to do it, but I need to do some homework with somebody who knows what to do, and that probably means sitting on Discord or something like that with somebody who's done it before so I can get it right. I figure that's the best way. Otherwise, the only other systems I can think of that I can build characters for that I know how to do it is Dungeons & Dragons 4e, Dungeons & Dragons 3.5, I can do that. I remember how to build a Bulldogs character for Fate. And is there any other systems that I've played that I would still remember how to do it? I think that's about the only ones. Otherwise, yeah. IDK about this rule set. However, on the rule set we play as a DM says that there is a monster with an armor class of -1, which is probably very good. On the bottom of our character sheet is a chart that tells us what we have to roll to hit. That would be much easier. I think what we're going to do is because I suspect that Kelsey's rule system is probably easier to demonstrate character creation than Old School Essentials. Whereas Old School Essentials is going to actually probably require me to do significantly more homework to get it right. Because it's not intuitive and it's not really clear from the book exactly what's going on. And you guys have done, those of you who are trying to explain it to me, it's still not clicking for whatever reason. I now understand why I never understood how to play Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd edition. Because I remember seeing the charts, I could never understand what was going on. All I knew is small number was better for armor class. That's all I understood. Okay, so we're going to end it there for today before Fred loses his nut. Because he has, a little bit. I think it was obvious. I've got to apologise for that. I'm going to apologise for looking like an idiot and not knowing what the heck was going on. Because I didn't. I really don't. At all. But we will return when I have been taught by somebody else how to make one of these things, and so how to explain it to somebody else. Because at some point I wanted to demonstrate how to play this game, and I don't know how I could do that. Anyway, it's got to be funny. My biggest problem is I can't look at PDFs for too long because they're just not in front of me all the time. To hit AC is -1. You need a 8. No worries. Okay, so let's just say big thank you to all of my patrons, everybody who's been in the chat and helping me and trying to work through this and offering suggestions, asking questions, just rolling dice. Okay, thank you very much. Let's put this down to Fred will figure out how to do this better in the future. I was wondering why Jordan hadn't done any more videos on this topic. Maybe there's a reason. That's the Jordan's, the PH is silent. Thank you for everybody who took part in the polls. Everybody who took part in the chat has just been watching or re-watching this thing. I feel very sorry for you if you are. Wherever you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, the night, or the wee early morning, please look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours as long as they're not using Thaco. If they're using Thaco, you're free to yell and scream at them. Okay. I'm only kidding. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.